All right, this one is from my boy Brooks, and dude, I gotta tell you, you just sent me this swing. I saw this on your story today, and this one compared to these other three, these other three that you sent me, I have to say is so much better. Um, I mean, there's a lot of things that is happening, especially in this one, but because the one that you sent me today is so much far from these swings, I don't really know. It kind of caught me off guard, dude. I gotta say, this is a much better swing. Um, you're much more on path. Now, the only thing that I really do want to focus on for your swing here, although this is really smooth and you can just tell how you're just absolutely ripping into this ball, the difference between that and these other ones obviously is the speed. I mean, you kind of chunked this one, so we're going to trash this. Um, the speed in which you're swinging is a lot faster. This one is a lot slower, and you can see, I mean, your takeaway is just a little inside, but you really let it sit inside, like into your arms here, and you're all rotation to get power into the ball. So like right here, you're not using the ground at all. You're kind of just using your whole body rotating as distance. So I think that's one of the things that is contributing to your lack of yardage. And I think just naturally, you have a really slow, I mentioned this to you before, it's really slow, really smooth tempo swing. And this is a swing that a lot of people like really look for, I have to say. So I wouldn't say that necessarily, this isn't necessarily even bad, bro. I just want you to realize that like a slow, smooth swing is nothing, is like really good. You're decreasing the amount of errors that you bring into your swing. When we start swinging faster, we start increasing the amount of room for error, I guess you should say. So what we do differently in your swing here on this one is you still sit it pretty deep into your shoulder, but a good correction that you make is you get a little bit higher. So see how this is more even with your head, as opposed to this swing is more even like with your armpit. So this is different. This is the top of your swing here, and your head is really like over the ball. But here, the top of your swing is a lot higher. And this height is really what's going to build your power. This is one of the things I was going to have you try to work on, is getting your arm to go up a little bit higher, because you've got flexibility. I could just tell from your swing, you've got some room that you could take it higher instead of sitting it back into your armpit area. So this is a really good spot. This is a great height, very Jon Rahm-esque with the bowing of your wrist. I really like that. I mean, it's really just a great position here. Now, the only thing that really stands out to me is this impact position right here. See how we're kind of, I know you're trying to use the ground to hit the ball really hard, but the problem with this is it's a very unnatural move. All of these positions are great. I mean, the takeaway is just a little inside, but for them, it's really not even that bad. I mean, you're like an inch inside, if anything. So don't even worry about that. Your takeaway's fine. I would have you, I can't really tell because it's kind of blurry, but make sure that halfway up through your swing, the toe of your club is pointing up to the sky, and you don't have a club face that's matching your spine angle. A lot of coaches talk about having your club face match your spine angle, so your club face would be kind of closed. But it goes against a lot of good things in the golf swing to do that. So make sure about halfway through your swing, your club face is, the toe of it is pointing towards the sky. So maybe this is a little bit better of an angle. Let's see. So right here, see how your club face is closed right here to your spine angle? I want you to focus more on flipping that so the toe is pointing up to the sky. So it's not this closed angle, but it would be straight up, and more open. That is really going to be helpful as far as just general, what's the word I'm looking for? Control, facial control. Thank you, Elijah. Okay, so the next thing I just want to compliment you on is how connected your armpit is here. So you really sink it down. You haven't lifted your right arm at all. That's perfect. But the move that is problematic is right here, right at your impact position. Instead of, I mean, what it is right here is your arms are just getting stuck. So your hips are firing and your hips are clear of the ball, but because you're your right arm is so sunken into your body, you haven't learned how to release that arm. And so a good drill that I would recommend is learning how to um, not just drop it in the slot, because you drop it in your right pocket really well, but you do it so much to the point where now you're at the ball, you're making contact with your back foot still on the ground, which is very unconventional, and your right arm is just cooked right there. And so you're kind of having to pull it through with your left hand and kind of just shovel it through with your right. A good motion to think about is releasing your right arm right after you drop it in your slot. Right here, you should be uncurling your right arm. So just the opposite of a bicep curl. I want you to get that feeling as you're in the middle of your downswing right here, right at that right hip area after you've dropped it. Now I want you to release that right arm and uncurl your bicep in the middle of the swing. And that's going to help you get more timed up with the rest of your swing with your left arm and your hips. And you won't find yourself in this position where you're having to kind of like, see how your body's kind of like scooting back to make room for your arms. This impact position is insane, bro. Like, I don't know a single person I've ever seen have this as their impact position. Like, they've hit the ball already. You're just kind of scooping it and squirting your way through with your weight distribution on like the inside and outside of your foot. It really is quite unconventional. And if you've gained distance from this, it's not because of this new swing. It's because you swung a little bit faster. Yeah, like I can tell you're swinging faster and you're probably getting more distance out of speed, but you're losing distance still with this bunched contact move. You're really hunched over. I mean, you have the capability because you shoot that left knee back, but there's just a few mechanical things that we got to work on. Keeping that in the takeaway, your right leg shooting straight, that's solid. I would maybe want that a little more straight. And then on the follow through, I want you to think not so much swaying to the left, which we can see you do a little bit in this swing. I know this is not the same club, but I want you to just see how much sway you've got in your swing. So your left hip is aligned with your golf bag in the background there. So we're here, and see how much your hips have moved. Now you're covering the golf bag and you're at the seat of the golf cart. Your whole body has moved from its starting position right here over like a foot. Now you're rotating really well through this ball, I have to say. It's the rotation is perfect, but you swaying is losing a lot of distance as well. And we can see that in this swing. You still have that aspect of your golf swing. Right. I'm trying to just capture the moment when I saw it. It's like right in the middle of this. Right in the middle of you turning down and you getting stuck, you swaying out of the way is what's letting you hit the ball too. So the swaying is incredibly problematic, as well as your impact position and not clearing, like your arms and your hips aren't connected at the same time. And that is something that is really important. Now you're getting away with it because you're really athletic, which is, impressive. But if you can find a single pro that looks like this at impact, I will be absolutely dumbfounded. I think one of the only people I know who just alone has their right foot on the ground through impact is Jake Knaps. But the problem with this is that if you have your right foot on the ground, you're going to chunk it and have your weight on your back foot a lot more. And your weight distribution should be 80 to 85% of your weight on that lead leg, which it looks like you're doing, which is how you're pulling off, a clean ball strike. I mean, that's ball first. That's pure. It's great. But look how much side bend you have. Like, as you're hitting the ball, your whole entire body is like a 90-degree angle. It's really going to be tearing at your back. So I would focus on standing a little bit more tall. So this height that you're at right now, you can stay right here. And instead, I want you to just look at the brim of your hat at impact. So this is where the brim of your hat is at impact. Okay, and look where you started. You started up here, halfway up the trees, And at impact, look how much you've sunk down. Look how much you've sat down and bent over. Like, you don't need to do that. The reason why you're getting bunched up is because you're also, your head movement, you just sink so much. You can stay standing up like this and still hit down on the ball. It's just you've gotten used to bending and hunching over. You don't even need to do that. You can achieve really, really great compression by standing tall like this, and then you won't have to backwards hump your hips out of the way to hit the ball. Because I can guarantee right now, if you just turn through like this, you'd be chunking the ball. But the only way you're hitting it is because you're, I guess, for lack of a better term, backwards humping out of the way so that your hands can clear through and swipe at it. This is kind of a more scooping motion than hitting down on the ball and compressing motion, which is something that we want a little bit more. So Brooks, my dude, I know that was a lot of me yapping, and hopefully you were able to stay tuned and pick up on some of those things, but compression, sway, impact position, those are all things that you got to work on. And last but not least is the head movement. Put your head up against the wall and just focus on keeping your head there the entire swing without sliding down the wall, because you have an extreme amount of head movement. You can achieve really, really good compression without contorting your body to look like this at impact. Like, this is a crazy impact position, bro. Like, the fact that you were hitting this ball is like a miracle from the Lord himself, to be honest. It's impressive because you're really athletic, but increasing the speed is not what you need. You got to increase your ability to compress the ball and maintain good body posture throughout the swing. So you've got a lot of really good moving parts, Brooks, but just a couple of minor things I'd tweak. Go ahead and check those out. Let me know what you think. Hopefully this was able to get you on the right track, or at least look into some things that you might have not heard of or thought of before. Now you know what to look for, and hopefully you can find some drills that will target those too. All right, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. We got a lot of good things cooking, and I'll catch you in the next one.